Turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. I'm breaking in.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. As we move into the final weeks of the regular season, here's a look at the teams jockeying for playoff position in the NFC. All these teams will be playing their hearts out, trying to claim the highest seed possible before Wild Card Weekend. It's the Panthers going up against the Falcons. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
Larry, in what is scheduled to be its final season as an NFL stadium, there's a look at the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta. Tonight, we write a finish to Week 12 with a good Monday night matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And there's your standard issue draw play. I like it a lot better when it's actually been set up.
On second down, here's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And this is going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. Now fourth down. On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. Second down and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Okay, Charles, defensive starter time for the Atlanta Falcons.
And let's spotlight Keanu Neal, the safety out of Florida. So big, so athletic. Many thought they might make him an outside linebacker, but I think they're going to use him as a hybrid. Outside linebacker, strong safety, kind of in the Cam Chancellor mode in Seattle.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Throwing on third down, Newton. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
The 20. And out of bounds all the way down at the 2-yard line. A big play there out of the running game. 38 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They go play action here on first down. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Their big tight end, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Justin Houston is truly one of the elite pass rushers in the league. Knows how to get to the quarterback with a variety of moves.
Here's Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. So 2nd and 10 here.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion. It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, get into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On second down, here's Newton. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Shift together here from the D-line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to...
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
To throw on second down is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. Newton to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Here's Newton now on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage. My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed. But
on first down. And over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up second down. On second down, here's Ryan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Third and long, it's Ryan. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On first down, it's Newton. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. They get 25 yards out of that one. And the Panthers are going to get a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Rolling to his right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. And en route, going into a little bit of traffic, maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, here's Newton. Vic Beasley. He's the one to get it, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
From his end zone, Newton on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Here's Drew Butler now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
To throw on second down is Newton. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. 3rd and long. It's Newton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. First possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And Jones has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. He hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes.
And it's a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Again on 2nd and 10. It's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So that's their 3rd trip to the red zone, but all they have to show so far is 2 field goals.
Tough sledding in this game for the offense. They get to the red zone. Normally you count on a minimum of 3 points in each red zone trip. Not so far in this game.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 1st down, Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, the hit sure looks like a simple route, but I think the issue with it is a lot of time when you're making that play, you're actually working your way back inside towards traffic where the big guys are coming from inside out, whether it's defensive ends or linebackers. And a lot of the time, instead of securing the pass, your eyes might stray towards the middle and wonder where the big hit's going to come from. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Back now here on EA Sports. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On first down, it's Newton. Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Shift together here from the D-line. And they'll go on the ground. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going. Want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
On second down, here's Newton. That's caught at the 3. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So now 3rd and goal. Will the defense bring some extra pressure here? And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Ryan. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Before that last pass, 2 interceptions had already been thrown. And this last one tipped in the air, which means everyone on defense is almost fighting each other in order to get to the football to try and make it a 3rd. Once you've thrown a couple, It's almost like a swarm of bees going after the ball. And in this case, they weren't able to.
He's got a man complete. 23 yards on the play. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Ryan, he's going to take another shot here. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. To throw on second down is Newton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
That was a good play, an incompletion that feels like a disappointment. The ball was tipped in the air, a chance for an interception, and you can just feel the home crowd coming together thinking, this is the big play we've been looking for. And when it falls to the ground, a little bit of disappointment, even though it was a good play.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They go back to the air here after the INT. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That would be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Here's Ryan to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And he'll actually wind up losing about 10 yards here, but no matter, they've got the football back. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get...
And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Going to give this time to the tailback. Time for a break. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. We're back to see what happens after this. From the gun on third down, Newton. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, Ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt. Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
On the move to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. Being chased out left. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Carolina getting set to take the field. They have the lead. Still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly.
Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jarrett McKinnon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Given 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defensive.
I certainly did.